Mortal Kombat 1 is disruptive by design, a reboot of the entire MK universe, bringing about sweeping changes to combat and characters in ways that might surprise you. So while Mortal Kombat 1 certainly builds on the foundations of its predecessor, Mortal Kombat 11, the addition of cameo characters offers a considerable change to the tried and tested formula. Jabbing R1 or RB and a direction on the D-pad brings a selected cameo fighter into battle to perform a particular move, drawing from a selection of grabs, combo extenders, trap moves, and more which can be used to complement your chosen fighter's strengths and weaknesses. At its most basic level, the cameo system is a smart way to reintroduce a collection of fringe Mortal Kombat favourites back into the series. At a more technical level, however, cameos add some significant strategy depth to the proceedings, as simply switching out your chosen cameo for another can change the way you'll need to approach a match with your chosen main, giving you or your opponent new problems to solve. It's also refreshingly fast and loose, allowing you to get away with some really sneaky, dirty tactics in a time where most developers strive for their systems to be fair and balanced. Above all else, Mortal Kombat 1 prioritizes fun.
2 Johnnies, 1 timeline.
Man, this has mega hit written all over it.
With the continuing Mortal Kombat story receiving a substantial overhaul. A problem with the past installments has been that it's difficult to know what to expect from the series' story mode. NetherRealm has now had to canonically reboot its own timeline twice to undo some of the wild absurdities that have occurred, and despite Mortal Kombat 1 offering a fresh start of sorts to the Mortal Kombat world and its most famous fighters, it isn't long before things get characteristically daft. Mortal Kombat 1's rebooted universe is ultimately a nice excuse to bring back the classic martial arts tournament setting and throw some beloved characters back into the mix, regardless of whether they've been killed off or not. In the 10 or so hours it'll take you to play through the Mortal Kombat 1 story, there's plenty of twists and turns that impact the sanctity of Liu Kang's peaceful version of the Mortal Kombat universe. It's daft, violent, and full of brilliant little nods and winks to the hardcore MK fan to spot. It is, once again, exceptionally fun. It also looks absolutely phenomenal. Mortal Kombat 11 was a pretty good looking game, and while it is hard to spot considerable improvements in the character models, better lighting, greater detail, and native 4K output mean that the backgrounds that the fights take place in are some of the finest seen within the genre. There's so much going on, and at such high fidelity, they're really impressive to look at. The facial capture during the story mode cutscenes is also at a level that is almost real, nearly breaking through the uncanny valley. Once you're done with the story mode, your options are a bit more limited, but of a high standard nonetheless. There's the obligatory arcade mode towers, which include an ending sequence for every character, and then after that, the only thing going for the single player fighting game fan is the invasions mode. Mortal Kombat 1's live service style portion that is going to run throughout the life cycle of the game. It's really enjoyable, reminiscent somewhat of Soul Calibur's excellent Edgemaster mode, where you travel around a big board and get in unique encounters that usually have you challenging other fighters in scraps with some specific modifiers. Stuff like low gravity, multi-man battles, or even boss fights. To level the playing field a bit, you gain experience points and gold coins for every win, which you can use to raise stat points and give your chosen character more damage or health. There's also a currency that allows you to buy seasonal content, costumes and colour palettes basically, while the current season is running. This is going to add a bit of longevity to Mortal Kombat 1, providing NetherRealm can find a way to keep forthcoming seasons of content interesting and purchasable items worthwhile, but it is off to a solid start. There is of course the slightly unfortunate inclusion of a premium store. Same as any other game that includes one, it's a series of cycling items that can only be purchased with dragon crystals, a currency that can only be bought with real money. There doesn't appear to be a way to get these costumes via in-game play. Another slight downer is the removal of the crypt, Mortal Kombat's usual vault full of unlockable bits and pieces. However, by ensuring that MK1 still has a boatload of unlockables from concept artwork to hats for Raiden and everything in between, it doesn't feel as much of a miss as it could have been. Outside of those modes, it's a case of getting down to the real hardcore business of getting better at the game and challenging yourself against real-life players. The tutorials, although hidden in a menu, are actually extremely detailed and full of practical examples to try out. They even go so far as to explain concepts such as frame advantage and how to maintain a pressure string on an opponent. So there's enough here for those who are trying to take their game to the next level, rather than just starting out. The practice mode itself also has the usual options to ensure that players have everything they need to drill any situation, including on-screen frame data displays and the practice dummy do whatever it is you need them to do. It isn't quite as user-friendly and instantly understandable as Street Fighter 6's simple practice options and visual frame data meter, but everything is present regardless. Online is also a fair bit less interesting than Capcom's offering. There's no online environment like the Battle Hub to meet and challenge players in, just a few different options for the type of fight you'd like to have, and the Ranked Combat League, which again runs for a month or so, allows players to get as high up the leaderboard as they can, dishes out some rewards, then resets to 0 for everyone to go again. It forces you to play a best out of 3 set rather than having people dip after a win, but unfortunately doesn't have a way to filter out Wi-Fi users or others with a poor connection. In fact, once you've been matched against someone, you have to play the set, even if it's like playing in quicksand. When everything works fine, which is most of the time to be fair, Mortal Kombat 1's netcode is excellent. Mortal Kombat 1 is a superbly presented fighting game with a combat system that manages to be similar to what the series has provided in previous games, but also requires a whole new approach due to how much the cameo fighters can change a single character's game plan. It's almost like each cameo creates a different version of the main character, such as the variety within the cameo's movesets and how they blend with the moves of whoever you have selected from the main roster. Despite lacking a few of the additional modes the series is known for, the content that is on offer is all brilliant fun, ensuring that whether you're a casual MK fan, someone looking to get into the series, or someone looking to play this game until the next iteration drops, you're going to find an exceptional, confident fighting game. People have said that the last generation of fighting games was a real golden era. Well, we're 2 major titles into the new generation and both of them beat the brakes off their previous iterations. Things are looking pretty rosy for fans of people getting punched in the face. We give Mortal Kombat 1, unsurprisingly, 5 out of 5 stars.
It will be great. I'll play a kickboxer, you a street fighter.
The answer is still no.